This past year, I've traveled thousands of miles up and down Florida to visit a dying piece of Americana. Globally, McDonald's is a staple of consistency, but since most McDonald's restaurants are independently owned and operated, some find ways to be really weird. Dinosaurs stand proud in front of a location in the Arizonan desert. Colorful animals stick out of the roof in Dallas, Texas. And a crash-landed UFO houses a McDonald's restaurant in Roswell, New Mexico. It's the all-American alien. Florida used to be a hot spot for these weird McDonald's locations. And a few years back, I was hired by the owner of the blog Nonstandard Mcdonalds, which documents McDonald's with interesting themes or architecture, to shoot Florida locations for a documentary. I got the gig because I live in Florida, and I told Max, the owner of the blog, that I was about to graduate with a film degree and I had made a student documentary. This is true, but instead of graduating a few years ago, I graduated a few months ago. Between me being in school and the pandemic, the production got delayed, yet the standardization of these restaurants kept going. Iconic roadside attractions like the Rock and Roll McDonald's or the Future McDonald's are now a part of this dying, kitschy past. So please, while they're still here, let me give you a tour of the weirdest McDonald's in Florida. We do not have a lot of time to document these. Something I had on my mind a lot during our first 400-mile drive to shoot one of these locations back in March of this year, just a month before I graduated college. Joined by my collaborators Nico and Savannah, we departed on our Florida road trip, stopping to see the lamest taxidermied gator at the Florida Welcome Center and to get some sweet Florida navels, essential roadside stops on our trek deep into the Florida Panhandle. I went to community college in Tallahassee, so I thought I would know this drive, but I was quickly humbled when I realized we still had 200 miles passing Tallahassee. Nonetheless, we eventually made it to our waterside Best Western in Navarre, a town I had never heard of.
Navarre has gained a little bit of a reputation for being one of Florida's best kept secrets, the most relaxing town in Florida. They filmed Jaws 2 here. Anne Rice is also from here, so this is the birthplace of the hottest, gayest vampires.
Our motel had a waterfront view. You'll see a bridge connecting to Santa Rosa Island where Navarre Beach is, but it's the roadside view that makes this location significant. Hey, come here, I gotta show you something. I wanna show you why we came to this Best Western. You see it? You see it over there? We came here for McDonald's. We're staying next to the McDonald's. We're eating McDonald's. We're breathing McDonald's.
Double cheeseburger and hold the load. Don't be running, son, no seeds on the bun. We be up in the drive-through, order for two. I got the craving for number 9, lock my shoe. We need some chicken up in here, in this deal. Original, my like the salt on the grill. Dr. Pepper, my brother. Another for your mother. Double, super size. And don't forget the fries. That's about it.
Sorry, I only caught the double cheeseburgers.
We've been rounding out this summer by spending time relaxing with our friends between filming and editing. And what's more wonderful to pair with these leisurely activities than a good old bottle of wine? It's wonderful that Bright Cellars is sponsoring this video. Bright Cellars is a wine club, which may sound bougie to some of you, but it's their mission to prove that anyone can experience the joy of wine. Don't know much about wine? That's okay. Bright Cellars has you covered with a 7-question quiz that you don't even need to study for. It just wants to know what kind of wine you might like. There are 12 different plans to choose from with hundreds of varieties of wine ready to be delivered to your door. I'm trying the Ochivado Verdejo Vino de España. Not too much. I don't think I've ever tried a Verdejo wine, but I like this a lot. I really do taste the citrusy flavors in it, but it's not overbearing. And each box come with these little wine education cards. Now you know what will pair best with this exact flavor, best temperature to serve it at, and where it comes from. And then I got the Soleil Rosé. I am never not in the mood for a rosé. I always thought this guy looked like he was doing jumping jacks. So I'm expecting melon, peach, mango, and dried herbs as per the card. Yeah, that's a really good rosé. It's not too sweet, it's not too dry. It's something I'm gonna drink again. With over 600,000 5-star reviews, it's no surprise that if you happen to not like a bottle of wine, they'll replace it with something better. In addition to sponsoring this video and making my content creation possible, Bright Cellars is giving my followers their first 6-bottle subscription box, which is usually $150 or more for just 60 bucks. So click the link in the description to take the quiz and get started today. Thank you so much to Bright Cellars for sponsoring this video. From the highway, this McDonald's seems to be standard, until you notice the blue decals on the glass. Inside, the front of the restaurant is standard dining, but when you peek through the decorative window, you'll see the blue glow of the under-the-sea McDonald's. Murals that are easily 20 feet tall cover all 4 walls of this McDonald's play place, depicting McDonald's foods, including snack wraps, which no longer exist, amongst sunken ships, marine life, and what I see as the star of the action, the futuristic-looking SS McNugget submarine, sculpted into 3D and hung by the ceiling. From the bottom, the SS McNugget seems to take design notes from a classic McDonald's fry box, but I'm much more enthused by the 4 scuba diver mannequins, which actually appear to be floating in the water. Designed by artist Bruce Berry of Wacky World Studios, the theming is pulled together by the accent decals on the windows, which will dramatically transform the light of the room depending on the time of day. I love the anchor over the TV near the exit, and I feel a need to mention the other TV was playing Finding Dory with full copyrighted audio blaring over our voices. The lower resolution LED screens behind the play place create this subtle illusion of movement.
That's as far as I go in here.
High-tech wetsuits and gear transition out into the restaurant, sort of making it all seem way more technologically savvy. We'll see the light-up tables and tablets at other locations later in the video, but it is made all the more cool by the futuristic angle of it all. The staff was incredibly nice in letting us film in the space, the scale of which took a while to capture.
Hey there.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Thank you for letting us come back here.
You are welcome.
I would buy a wide-angle lens after this shoot. It feels very immersive, but it's only with an appreciation of Navarre that its roadside appeal becomes evident.
And Navarre is also a big spot for ecotourism. In the Great Depression, the Wyman family, who ended up owning a bunch of land here, they didn't pay their taxes. So the US government came in, took all that land, and made it into a public national park. Rich people, don't pay your taxes. I want your land.
I would have never gone to Navarre had it not been for this McDonald's. And I've realized this project is important because people should know it exists while it does. But while documenting these restaurants, I've grown to have opinions on McDonald's. McDonald's should aim more for visual consistency with the community it's entering into, rather than its own brand, which still has a strong presence at this location. Even as we chose to eat on the water and at the best reviewed seafood shack in town, we had an excellent roadside view of the McDonald's. As someone who spent less than 24 hours in Navarre, I will say it's a staple of the town.
Get in touch with Florida's nature. Come here. You gotta come here for a second. You see that guy? That's Florida wildlife right there, baby. Yeah. Eco-tourists come from all over the world just to see that guy.
Hey, Billiam here. I'm on my way to the biggest McDonald's in the world with producer Savannah over here. Why don't you say hi, producer Savannah?
Orlando is home to the biggest McDonald's in the world, allegedly. It's a perfect Florida centerpiece for Central Florida, but it used to look a whole lot cooler. Its 2016 redesign is definitely modeled after the 2009 standard McDonald exterior, the one with the eyebrow arch. And now in 2023, in my opinion, it already looks outdated. But where the parking lot is now once stood the extravagant old location, a giant monstrosity complete with checkerboard, a Ronald McDonald statue, and my favorite feature, gargantuan neon fries. The perfect way to attract a giant monster. We'll come back to the new location quickly, but I just want to highlight what a small part it is of Florida McDonald's lore. Less than a mile down Sand Lake Road once stood the Gourmet Bistro McDonald's, which looked like a European castle from the outside and featured a unique gourmet menu. And just a little bit away on Kirkman Road, the very same franchise owner, Gary Orather, also operated a McDonald's location called Club Safari. Quentin Reviews, a YouTuber I'm often compared to, told Orather's story alongside that of Keith Melton's, who Quentin described as a rival franchise owner. Melton operated a variety of McDonald's with themes such as motorsports, Hollywood, rock and roll, regular sports, and espionage. Most of these themed locations were built in the late 90s and early 2000s, and just a few decades later, they have all mostly been standardized. It makes me sad to think there were such quick flashes in the pan, but I like to think Orather and Melton had an opportunity to meet each other, to connect about their weird, shared, mutual niche interests.
Not the best camera to vlog this kind of thing with.
I've been meeting Quentin Reviews for the very first time. Prior to this, we've spoken for 12 minutes on the phone. It was a good conversation, but now we're gonna spend a few days together. It's first time for everything. Quentin Reviews is calling. You know you gotta pick up. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm about to get off of I-4 onto Sand Lake.
Oh, okay, so is that close? I came outside to meet you, so.
Yes, we can almost see the McDonald's. He just came outside to meet us and we're not there. I'm anxious, but you know, there's a water slide. You can't be anxious here in Orlando, Florida. Oh, we caught the green light, Quentin. We would have run the red just for you. No! Traffic! That's Quentin Reviews!
Where?
Right there!
Where? Oh, there he is! Oh my god.
My mind is blown. Quentin decides to walk around the building here. It's all right, though.
This is the biggest McDonald's in the smallest parking lot in the world, am I right?
I'm expecting somebody to start yelling at me at any point now, like, oh, we're over here.
All right, back here again. This is the second time we've come here to film this project.
I bet that looks okay at night. Like, not beautiful, but like straight up there.
Oh, he was right here.
Straight up like, yeah, they put something here.
Where is he? Quentin!
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry. What's up, dude?
Here we go.
Yeah, you told me to vlog, so
All right,
this is our first meeting ever.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're overexposed.
No.
Oh, well, how's your trip been so far?
It's been good. Yeah, I've been around. I went to Universal. I walked around straight up. Yeah.
Is this better than that?
Probably. I don't know. I mean, it's more coherently themed than the main Universal part.
I met Quentin Reviews at the Epic McDonald's in Orlando, and joining us for the day was Quentin's friend, collaborator, and fellow creator, Hippie Rat. A McMansion is a name for a distinctly American-style house that is made to be super large by connecting a ton of different conflicting designs together, and that is the perfect way to describe Epic McDonald's, which is the name of this location. Hashtag Epic McDorl. Epic McDorl. This McDonald's is segmented into tons of different themed corners, all to justify its scale. Downstairs, we have the kitchen, dessert stand, and yes, the pizza oven for pizza served exclusively at this location. Upstairs, the play place is appropriately Florida themed with an astronaut shark and a mean little crocodile. Even though crocs don't really get up to Central Florida, that should be an alligator. McDonald's cast of characters is depicted in these flat corporate renders on the glass between the dining hall and the entertainment center, where Ronald himself is painted doing beach-themed activities, looking over all of the ticket dispensing games and prizes to be won. However, the main attraction on our trip was the museum piece next to the play place, a formally functioning Mac Tonight animatronic that was essential to conceptualizing this documentary project, as Quentin told me.
Of course, I'm sure you know the lore that this was originally Max's whole idea.
Just this guy?
Yeah, his plan was, I'm gonna do a Kickstarter
To fix it?
to fix that animatronic. But he couldn't get in contact with the owners.
Mac Tonight was a mascot created in the 1980s to market McDonald's dinner as an adult-appropriate meal. Live performers and eventually animatronics made their way into McDonald's locations where Mac would sing his songs. This is one of the last.
It's a good time for a great taste dinner at McDonald's. It's Mac.
He used to work in the very spot he is in now, but at the old location, he was a main attraction. But still, his set list will play as the animatronic sits there, sadly motionless.
He's going. Yeah, that's very clearly coming from him. Like, that's his soundtrack.
The menu at this location is one of its biggest draws. Of course, there's the pizza, which we tried.
Onions, pepperoni and slivered onions.
Oh, gross.
Whoa.
I'm allergic to onions.
Oh no, I'm
So
sorry
I'm
about
allowed-
that. Yeah, you are allowed to say
Check your
that.
It was passable. It was okay. We ended up trying the waffles.
We should get one.
Yes, we should, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Add onions.
Oh, yeah.
It was a waffle.
Whoa. Hey, audience. Watch your appetite.
Quentin tried the chocolate cake. He wasn't about it.
It It is not good, but it is chocolate cake.
But it's from McDonald's.
But according to this menu, you can get pasta with like grilled chicken, spinach, and broccoli and diced tomatoes. They do dipped classic ice cream cones too, and 4-egg omelets, a Philly cheesesteak, ham and cheese French toast. It seemed like so much of what this restaurant was supposed to do wasn't available the day we were there. This is the only McDonald's on our location list that has any sort of depictions of the McDonald's land cast. Although the Ronald statue is no longer around, he is still present as a behemoth of a neon sign facing International Drive and staring down Hulk Hogan's beach shop. Although it takes its design notes from a more modern McDonald's, it still has a foot in the past, and I kind of vibe with that. Meeting Quentin and Hippie was a really fun new way to revisit this familiar site. One day I'd love to get up on that Ferris wheel, the Orlando Eye, so perhaps I can once again see McDonald's from a brand new angle. There's beauty in this clogged city traffic, and beauty in McDonald's clogging my arteries. One of the most poignant examples of McDonald's standardization comes with the Walt Disney World location. About 14 miles from iDrive, this location once looked like a vibrant Happy Meal box featuring Ronald and Grimace before those characters were all retired. Disney and McDonald's used to have a very close partnership with multiple snack carts and restaurants in the park serving McDonald's food, and downtown Disney hosted a unique McDonald's location itself. It was around the same time McDonald's began retiring its children's characters that their relationship with Disney was put on hold and all of their Disney World locations were closed except this one, which was briefly redesigned to reflect the 2009 design before being built into one of McDonald's flagship restaurants. The new design has a sleek, modern look and a lot of natural light coming through. The greenery and the exercise equipment highlight a healthier future for McDonald's customers and the environment. It's supposed to be a carbon neutral restaurant, baby. I've had a lot of friends like Savannah who worked at the theme parks here, but we all met when we were college age. And many of the people I know in Orlando, such as my friend Carissa and her boyfriend Chris, have since moved. Carissa and Chris lived right next door to Savannah, Nico, and I. Now they live in New York. I love being an adult. Carissa runs a really incredible food TikTok and has gained a reputation for trying out international McDonald's menus from all over the world. Now the sister flagship to the Disney location in Chicago features international menu options, but the location in Orlando does not. That's really stupid. So to make up for the lack of interesting food at the Florida location, Carissa was so kind to take time before she moves to have a little conversation with us about some of her most memorable international McDonald's experiences.
So it's like raining right now, but we are here with my good friend Carissa Eats of TikTok and Instagram and
It's
all over the world.
It's surprisingly nice. It
Yeah.
feels like we're inside a McDonald's Sprite.
Carissa here has gone around the world and seen the most diverse McDonald's menu items, because while America has all these kitschy roadside McDonald's, none of the menus besides iDrive have anything interesting to them.
That's almost true.
And Chicago.
And Chicago?
Hawaii.
Oh.
What does Chicago have first?
Chicago has the global McDonald's headquarters, so they have different menu items for all over the world.
Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know that.
Oh, they had a banana heart McFlurry that was really weird. But yeah,
Oh, I bet.
what do they have in Hawaii?
Well, in Hawaii, because it's Hawaii, they have Spam for breakfast.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get different kinds of Spam. And that's I've always wanted to try that because I'm a Spam defender.
Like fried Spam or just straight up?
I get fried
Fried
Spam.
Spam.
You can't eat Spam raw.
If you ever go to Singapore, you have to get the McCrispy. They're like obsessed with it. It's like made with chicken thighs instead, so it's like really juicy and moist.
Yeah.
They get really upset if you don't like it, so just
Go alone.
just say that you like it. It is good though. It's not like a fancy restaurant, but like you go out to McDonald's as like an occasion a lot of times.
Interesting.
Kind of like KFC.
Or like an olive.
So like
in
Red
Japan,
Robin.
Yeah.
What? Like I'm right. I'm
You go
right.
to Red Robin?
But it is like a sit-down
It's
restaurant,
like you're
though,
a
right?
kid. It's your birthday. It's a special day. Let's go to Red Robin.
Yeah, that's the higher McDonald's.
Yeah, sure. It's like Red Robin. Actually, one of my favorite McDonald's was in Italy. They have like panzerotti.
Yeah.
It's like little calzones. It literally tasted like better than some of the pizza in Italy. Because it's like actually crispy. And that's an American thing. I realized that. Like, we're the only country that like everything needs to have a crunch.
Oh, yeah.
In other countries, like, it's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be deep fried and crispy, but like.
If you're hungry, then for goodness sake, give yourself a tasty break with Big Mac filet.
My favorite Weird McDonald's is in Italy. They have these weird conservation laws about if you find anything that's remotely historical, you can't just like destroy it, right?
Yeah.
So they were building a McDonald's and they found like a bit of a Roman road with a dead guy on it and built the McDonald's on top of that. So when you're making your order, you can look down and there's straight up a dead guy underneath the floor where you order through the glass. I've always wanted to go there because it's just, I call it Dead Body McDonald's.
Yo, what about the I got one. It's the McCatacombs.
What's your...
That's scary. I don't think I would like that. I went to the McDonald's in Rome. It's the first McDonald's in Rome. It's like in a basement. There's like mosaics on the wall. They had tiramisu.
Ooh. Oh, very interesting. No, you don't like the McDonald's tiramisu.
Who would have thought the McDonald's tiramisu isn't good?
Have you ever found that like a normal menu item just has a little bit of a different palate to it?
Oh,
like they're adjusting it?
Absolutely. Usually the meat quality in the burgers is better in other countries.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. The nuggets are usually the same. Diet Coke is good everywhere. I've never had a bad Diet Coke from McDonald's. I have an addiction to McDonald's Diet Coke. Oh wait, okay. My favorite thing at McDonald's in the Middle East was the pistachio McFlurry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A lot of this sounds like international food politics to me. Because when you said pistachio McFlurry, my first thought was that would be controversial because of allergies.
Yeah.
Like you can't even sell like a peanut butter sandwich without people being like, oh, be careful because people with nut allergies.
They're prepackaged and in a plastic bag.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're not handling it.
So it's not like they're just frothing nut into the air.
Yeah.
They're just nutting into the air.
Yeah, I'm not allowed back at Disney World.
I found it very beautiful that Quentin got to see a little slice of my life, even friends outside of the little hipster trash crew.
Yo, Quentin, could you check your phone for me?
But it's 6:09. Oh my god, my phone's almost dead. Is there a place around here I can charge it?
I don't know. Wait a minute.
What's that?
It was pouring rain, but Quentin and I's shared passion meant we had to get out there to demo the exercise equipment. It's supposed to charge your phone and light up the M on the green wall, but the bike on the right was broken, so it was only partially illuminated. And a broken ride meant we truly all got to have the Disney experience. About 90 miles southwest of Walt Disney World, driving over Old Tampa Bay, you'll eventually reach Clearwater Beach, on one of the many barrier islands surrounding the state. Clearwater Beach is a packed tourist destination featuring some of the softest, whitest sand in Florida.
I arrived at the dock. We arrived separately. I arrived at the dock. The boat came.
Well, Quentin, here we are in Clearwater Beach, Florida, not to be confused with Clearwater, Florida, which is just over the water.
Yeah.
This is some of the whitest beaches in the world.
Whitest or whitest?
Whitest.
Whitest? So
Whitest.
white beach?
Because they get the sand from the bottom of the ocean. They bring it up so our feet can feel nice and soft on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like sand gentrification, if
It
you
is.
ask me.
Look at the beautiful beaches behind us.
Yeah, I f***ing hate it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Some of the most beautiful beaches in America right there, baby.
Beautiful beaches in America.
Down Gulf View Boulevard, Pier 60 provides a great view of the surrounding coast. We saw a pirate ship that does tours, and I got a chance to film it coming all the way around. Around here, the most common gulls you'll see are laughing gulls, who's heckling our ever-present sound in the background. I saw a cormorant, a pelican, and I really wanted to become acquainted with this great blue heron.
A great blue heron! Oh my god! He's just here!
Incredible.
That's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty much the hottest time of year in Florida, and Quentin and I were feeling it. But as a Floridian, I think I was able to cope with it a little better than he was.
Oh god, the sand is so hot.
Is it?
It went into my sandal. I was like, what the fuck?
Hot mics.
More like hot fucking sand.
So Quentin, here we are on Clearwater Beach. All of this sand is from the bottom of the ocean.
Bright ass ocean sand.
Oh, well, when it's on the bottom of the ocean, trust me, it's not bright.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I bet it's pretty.
I think that interaction's just a good thing of us on the beach.
Let's continue this conversation from underneath the shade.
Yeah, let me tell you about the turtles.
Oh, you're gonna tell me about the fucking turtles?
Yeah.
Goddamn sand. Billiam, tell me about the turtles while I knock this sand out of my sandal.
Oh, of course. Well, see, on Clearwater Beach, in order to signify that this is a shower where you can get that crusty ass sand out from in between your toes, they have a nice little turtle there.
Oh.
So you can look at him when you're cleaning yourself.
Okay, well,
Yeah. Here, I'll be him.
I just feel like I got wet sand in my shoes.
About a mile from the pier is the perfect beach shack Mickey D's. With a white paint job, ocean blue trim, patio seating, and reflective light plastic sign, there is no doubt this is the Clearwater Beach McDonald's. It says it right there. Before filming with Quentin, Nico, Savannah, and I actually pre-shot a lot of the locations we were going to. We wanted our time with Quentin to focus more on the experience of going to these places rather than just shooting their exteriors.
Hey, it's Florida 5. Florida's 3 greatest filmmakers.
But during our first shoot in Clearwater, we had our own nerve-wracking experience.
That's a good bird.
Oh, look at that little David Finch over there.
There's another one.
That's the scariest character from A Bug's Life.
The bird throwing up the guy on the scooter.
I think what makes it is the fact of the proximity to the beach. And last time we were here, we ate on the beach because we got threatened. So we were filming in the McDonald's.
We got harassed by 2 guys who I could only describe as Evil Skinny Pete and his brother, Evil Not So Skinny Pete. They were Savannah and Nico while I was outside shooting the exteriors.
And we just have bags of camera equipment.
Yeah.
I think we're about to get like jumped at the Clearwater McDonald's. Which would be terrifying.
And while I was outside, they're like, yo, when that with the camera comes back in, like, I'm gonna ask him to pay me. Don't put my face on camera without paying me.
Oh,
and they're
Jesus.
hearing this, and they're like looking over at Savannah and like, whoa, that's a, like, she's, what are they calling you?
He called me a thick ass bitch.
Oh no.
Yeah. And somebody complimented Nico's tattoo at the soda fountain, and so he was like, thanks, man. And he goes, oh, you, the F slur. Like, you gonna say thanks, man, like that? Like, just thanks, man? Like, come on, guy. And so I come back inside oblivious of all of this.
Savannah made the very smart decision to leave, which Nico and I quickly went along with. I really enjoyed retelling this story to Quentin in the spot where it happened, because at the end of the day, absolutely nothing bad happened. We got our food, and eating it on the beach turned out to be the best case scenario. A beach shack is a shack because you're supposed to be spending most of your time here on the beach.
The homies right there.
I'm showing feet for the McDonald's though.
I need a double cheeseburger and hold the lettuce. Don't be frontin' son, no seeds on the phone with the up in the drive through order for 2. I got the craving for a number 9, lock my shoe. We need some chicken up in here in this deal. Gorilla mom, like the salt on the field. Like the type of my brother, another for your mother. Double super size, and don't forget the fries.
When I see this, I think of McDonald's.
Clearwater Beach, Florida.
After our stress-inducing night, we spent the next morning at another location, just under 30 miles away from Clearwater. From the road, the specialness of this McDonald's in Madeira Beach may elude you, but across the water, at the Holiday Inn next door, you can see it. Tucked behind the mangroves sits the McDock, notable for its boating slips that support McDonald's mobile order pickup. This is one of those out-of-the-way places, and looking back, I wish I found a kayak rental for us. But alongside the meal the night before, our breakfast at the McDock was the next best meal on the entire trip. McDonald's breakfast is the only thing on the menu that's always been good. I have yet to find a fast food breakfast item as good as the f***ing chicken biscuit. With the quiet road and the sound of floating on water, it was one of the most calming meals on the entire trip. But you're still not getting any quiet without the laughing gulls in this part of Florida. Remembering the good vibes, we had to bring Quentin back here to get some ice cream, the perfect way to cap off his hot day on the beach.
Delicious.
We tried to give Quentin the true Florida experience, and we succeeded, so thank you to whoever parked the Joker car outside that McDonald's. We wouldn't have been able to convince Quentin Florida's like this if he didn't. Along our way south, we stopped at some former themed locations that had only recently been remodeled, meaning we missed them for the documentary.
One of Florida's most popular annual attractions is the Daytona 500, a 500-mile race featuring NASCAR cars ripping rubber across asphalt, which is perfect. This McDonald's used to be a NASCAR-themed McDonald's, but it's 200 miles away from Daytona Beach. This is Delray Beach, which does not have any sort of NASCAR identity.
So this was like a Latin American themed McDonald's.
Yeah.
Kind of representing like a lot of the local heritage and almost like a little mini museum that was also a McDonald's. This was the one I was most excited to see, and it's gone.
In Davie, Florida, self-proclaimed cowboy town USA, I was pleasantly surprised to see the former old Western-themed McDonald's still standing, but with a new business inside. When McDonald's tries to fit the image of a community, I really think this is the best case scenario. The building is still there, but a local brand owns it. The drive-thru label is still on the asphalt. If you know its history, it's so obvious it was built to be a McDonald's. And I thought it was perfect that this crumpled up fry box happened to be crumpled up on the ground after I carefully placed it there. Hey, I'm a Florida filmmaker. This is artsy. This is fartsy. East of Davie, in my hometown Fort Lauderdale, I was surprised to see a McDonald's I remember eating at as a child still had its classic mansard roof design. A design introduced in 1969 to replace the original golden arches. My dad told me as a kid, this was the very first McDonald's he ever went to. In South Fort Lauderdale, north of 17th Street, this location has a classic neon sign out front. While it's probably not an authentic arch, I prefer this to the original still standing in Winter Haven, Florida. This to me feels like a familiar anchor in my not so small hometown, which I've watched grow increasingly unfamiliar. An experience I know many people share with me. I wish I didn't feel anxious about being where I grew up, but I spent the last few years here taking extra time to graduate high school because I got sick in high school. I watched a lot of friends move away, including Nico, whom I met in Fort Lauderdale. Visiting these McDonald's makes me feel like a piece of American culture is being lost. But back in the day, people said the same thing about the proliferation of these restaurants and the corporate visual pollution they created. Something the New York Times criticized in 1971 is echoed today in this viral Twitter image. Arguably, the standardization and more importantly, the modernization of McDonald's removes visual pollution from the spaces they're entering. The modern location sticks out way less than the red mansard roof. But the loss of visual pollution is the death of roadside America. It's the loss of non-standard McDonald's across the country. Gone are the Victorian McDonald's, the Aquarium McDonald's, the Polynesian McDonald's, the Astronaut McDonald's, the Manhattan Plaza McDonald's, the Caboose McDonald's, and of course, every single rock and roll McDonald's. A few weeks after finishing our shoot, Savannah and I were flown out to LA to work on another project I'll be really excited to share info with you about. But while we were there, we stopped at Frank & Sons to see their collection of McDonald's memorabilia, a McGraveyard. Retired characters, many of whom were way before my time, were joined by McDonald's NASCAR hoods, a full body, signage, and of course, the classic Ronald statue that used to be inside thousands of play places across America. Quentin definitely has a preference for themed McDonald's, but the more I've worked on this project, the more I've started to ask, what qualifies a non-standard McDonald's? The McDonald's at Times Square and Hollywood Boulevard aren't themed, but they're undoubtedly non-standard. I start thinking about cities. If a McDonald's is built into a building designed by another architect in any capacity, is it non-standard? If a McDonald's is following the design choices of a shopping center, is it non-standard? The McDonald's at Santa Monica Pier has a branded parking garage. That's certainly not standard. In the past 10 years, one of the biggest types of non-standard McDonald's to disappear are McDonald's within hospitals. With growing concerns around McDonald's and health, the characters have stopped being used to promote directly to children. And in the same line of thought, many doctors have urged hospitals to close McDonald's on site, including the McDonald's I've arguably eaten at the most, the former location at Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami, Florida. I almost died there, in no part thanks to the McDonald's. That location brought me a lot of comfort, and it was at a time where I really needed to keep on weight, so it was a good thing for me. But I am not arguing it shouldn't be gone. I was just contemplating this since we passed through the health district on our way to the final McDonald's location. Miami has never been a fun place for me, but seeing Little Havana for the first time, my mood completely turned around. On the historic Calle Ocho, the scenery is vibrant with a consistent Cuban theme featuring saturated tile mosaics and, of course, tons of roosters and rooster statues. And amongst the scenery is a single covert international corporation. The McDonald's on Calle Ocho was not beloved when it first opened here, but since they're not going to move, McDonald's has done a really great job of becoming a part of the area, rather than just trying to leave its corporate stamp. The art outside was done by a Miami artist, Xavier Cortada, featuring a combination of decal murals and tile mosaics featuring references to Cuban culture and Cuban music. If you're down here, please try some Cuban food instead. But this might be my favorite McDonald's location on the whole trip. Its modern interior gives me hope for the future that non-standard McDonald's can continue to complement the communities they're in.
This is easily, I think, the coolest one.
I agree.
And as much as it's cool to be like, oh, our McDonald's is dinosaur themed, I really like it when it's just like, yeah, this McDonald's tells you a story.
Yeah, it blends in and it becomes a part of the community because like somebody locally like owns this place. This has been a very much a little beacon of light on this trip, I think.
We'll slow it down for
Thank you so much.
Big Mac.
On our way back to drop Quentin off at the airport, I had to show him the biggest, baddest roadside alligator attraction in the state, right by Christmas, Florida. This is the largest concrete alligator in the world. McDonald's doesn't have to give us our roadside experience. Finishing up this video, I decided that couldn't be it. And I did something f***ing crazy. I sat up all night and clicked every single McDonald's location in Florida on Google Maps, and I made some discoveries. I have a few missions left. There's a McDonald's with a teal logo. There's an Art Deco location on South Beach. We were just there. There may be an existing NASCAR location after all. I gotta go find it. Not to mention the underwater McDonald's at the beginning of the shoot actually has 3 sister locations. One is UFO themed, and the other has animations projected onto the wall. How did I miss these? I think it's because nobody's out here documenting these things. How would I ever know that a McDonald's in Ocala, Florida has a covered patio? Will people ever know if I don't film it, if I don't go there and enjoy the shade at that McDonald's and film it? The truth is, these locations are gonna continue to be discovered because personal and regional identity will always be stronger than McDonald's brand identity. But we are losing many of the ones that exist now. So please, if you know about one of these, go and visit it. Document it, try to tell people about it. Things are always changing, and if you want to experience something as it is now, you gotta take the opportunity. See ya. I just wanted to give another thanks to Max Krieger for helping us make this video. I'm along the way to help him finish his documentary. I'm so excited for it. Thanks to Quentin for making time. And finally, thank you to John, Constant Noise, for all of the amazing McDonald rap remixes in this video. His links are down below. See ya.